Hi everyone, welcome to another video review. Today I have the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Remastered Blue Ranger. I do apologize for the slight delay in releasing another video. This things kept getting in the way. Now, if there are people who are still unsure what the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Remastered figures are, basically for the 30th anniversary of Mighty Morphin or Power Rangers altogether, the Lightning Collection or Hasbro, they re-released the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Lightning Collection figures this time with an amazing paint job. Whatever defects they had, they fixed it, and they're just high quality versions of the figures, and they look pretty much what the TV show suits look like, which is really awesome. And they all come in a black box, and you have like a really nice picture of the Ranger in the front. So on the left here, you have a nice picture of the Blue Ranger, and we have a picture of the figure there with the effect pieces. And when you turn it, you have the Blue Ranger figure holding the morpher. And then on the back here, we have a bigger picture of the Blue Ranger figure holding the morpher. And what you get here. So you get a nice Blue Ranger figure, a new Billy head. You get the Blue Ranger helmet, his morpher. You get the gun in all three stages, the one in the holster with the blade retracted, the gun and the effect piece, and you have the lance in both modes. So in staff mode and both these separated like that. And you get four additional hands as well. And also you get glasses for the Blue Ranger. So if you want to have season one Blue Ranger, you can put the glasses on. But if you want the season three Blue Ranger, then you would have the glasses off. And then on the other side, we have a picture of the Blue Ranger holding the, or actually, that's the same side I showed you. We have a nice picture of all six Power Rangers here. That's one of my favorite pictures. It looks really cool. And something I noticed, I think I missed that in my other reviews, is that it says the full name of the Ranger. So here it says Billy Cranston and Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger. So before I continue with this section of the video, most of you guys may or may not know, but I post this video review in sections, so I don't actually. Sometimes I don't even do the entire video in one day. Sometimes like I do it when I can. So I've been like really busy, and the first part I did it some time back, and then right after my webcam program just stopped working, like it would no longer connect to the software I was using, and I tried everything and I could not figure it out. So finally I was able to connect it a different way. So I do apologize for the delay in this video. Like I still have like this one and also Red to do, and I plan on showing off all the remastered figures. You guys probably have seen these multiple times because by now pretty much all the fans have had the remastered figures. Well, with that out of the way, let's get on to the video. This is the Blue Ranger figure. And honestly, I love the helmet. Billy also looks good, but the only thing is that honestly, I'm gonna leave Billy till later because I'm gonna do the facial comparisons later. And one thing that I noticed is that they changed the power lance. Like before, the coins were silver, not gold, and also the painting looks more cleaner. And I also noticed in the packaging that they packed the power lance with more care because the very first power lance that they didn't pack it with care, therefore like it looks all bent and warped. Even the individual power lance has the gold coin on it. This is what it looks like. It looks pretty cool. And it comes with blaster in all its three different modes. So I have the holster and one in the holster. So get the gun, and then you get the one with the blade sticking out right here. And then you get four hands. So you get two open hands. You get um, one of these fists. I actually have one of the fists on the Blue Range already. You get the hand that holds the morpher. And you have the hand that's on top of the morpher, you know, the one that goes like this when you're holding the morpher. And of course, you have the beautiful effect pieces that I failed to put on the figure. These are the effect pieces I love. They look so cool. And finally, we get the Blue Ranger Morpher, which looks really cool. It's weird. I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me, but when I look at this Morpher, I see green instead of blue. Let's see if I can get extreme close up here. And honestly, with this one, I can't even make out the Triceratops that well as I did with the other Ranger figures. And that's pretty much it for the accessories. And for articulation, you could move the hands side to side. You do up, down, your elbow articulation. You can move it around. You can widen the chest. You can close it up. You can move the head. You can, oh, the head falls off too, apparently. That's the thing with my Blue Ranger. There we go. It's kind of hard to get the heads on, especially the Blue Ranger head. It it takes a lot of force that actually feel weird because it feels like you're gonna break the figure any moment. So just be careful with that if you guys have that. So last thing you need is remastered figures, especially ones that have been out for a while in Blu-ray, just to break it. It's hard to get them again. And for the legs too, you can move it side to side, up, down, knee articulation, double articulation right there, the boot. Pretty much standard lighting collection, figure articulation. Much it. And as for differences, so the one difference that I noticed, helmet, there's not too much of a difference because they didn't screw up Blue Ranger's helmet too bad. Is that they colored in the white accents on the visor there because the first Blue Ranger had silver around it, so this one brings out the helmet a lot more. So there you have. So those are the accessories for the Blue Ranger. So let's compare Billy. Let's see what he looks like. So let me try to bring him a little bit more close up. And honestly, at a certain angle, like not this angle, because like this, you can barely tell it's Billy. But a certain angle in person, he kind of looks like Billy. The problem is they rounded his face a little bit too much when the actual Billy, you can tell his face is longer and slimmer. It's not like this. Honestly, this guy, he looks more like the Honey I Shrunk the Kids dad, to be honest. That's what he looked like. And I forgot to mention that he does come with a set of glasses, which I forgot to include. And which is this pair here. If you were to put the glasses on Billy, you can make him season one Billy. But I prefer the one without the glasses. So he looks like, as far as an attempt to get Billy right, I would give them a 5 out of 10 because only at certain angles does it look like him, but for the most part, the face is way too rounded and fat. It does not really look like Billy. You can really tell the difference here. So there you go. Unfortunately, Billy is failed. So here's the different Billies. There's actually four different ones. That's the Ninjetti Blue Ranger. Then there's the Season 1 Blue Ranger. We have the Metallic Blue Ranger. And then finally, the Remastered Blue Ranger. those of you guys who have watched my video already know that my reasoning for not having Ninja Rangers. I'll say it over here. So when the Ninja Rangers showed up, Toys R Us Canada was the only place to get it if you were a Canadian. And they were charging like I think close to $50 for one of the figures. With there being seven figures, I was like, yeah, that's not happening because I don't want to spend so much on one of the Ninja figures, let alone seven. So I had to skip on them, unfortunately. So I just have these three Billies, and I must say that I see Billy a lot more on his previous figures versus the remaster. Like the season one, Billy looks like Billy. The remastered Billy, even though with the pale skin complexion, he still looks like Billy more than the remastered figure. One thing that I found was interesting is that metallic Blue Ranger, season one Blue Ranger, the chest diamond is actually more fatter than the remastered version, which I thought was quite interesting. Let's compare the Blue Ranger to the TV show Blue Ranger. I tried to recreate the same pose, but it looks like I kind of failed there. And honestly, looking at him, he actually looks pretty spot on. The only difference is that the detailing on the Blue Ranger suit isn't as pronounced like on the actual figure, like the white detailing around the visor. It's very thin. Even the black outlines around the belt and the holster is very hard to really tell. And also, the belt is wider on the actual Blue Ranger in the Lightning Collection version. Actually, all the Lightning Collection figures had this where the belt was slimmer, therefore, like the morpher kind of had to be thinner so you can really make out the details as well as the actual Ranger suit. But overall, like aside from the shade, like they did a great job of trying to capture the Blue Range. I don't really see anything really jarring out there that's like, oh wow, can't believe they got that wrong. So yes, they did a great job of capturing the Blue Ranger here. They did a good job. Let's compare the Blue Rangers. So the Blue Rangers, one of those rare moments where they actually got the different renditions of the helmet pretty much accurate. The only difference is the metallic figure and the first release. They use silver outlining around the helmet versus white outlining. One thing I noticed too is that the mouth plate on the remastered figure seems to be a bit more like bigger than the other two figures. So not sure how I feel about that. I don't know if that's supposed to really be accurate or not. But yeah, definitely good to remastered because of the white around the visor really brings out the helmet versus the other two. So yeah, they did a great job there. And the other two, they're not that bad either. They did a great job as well. Because if you look at like the other colors, like especially pink and then there's red, like they messed up the visor the first time around and then finally we got the correct version with the remastered. Here's Billy holding his morpher, about to morph, I guess. And I must say, doing the morpher pose with the guys, like I said before, is so much more easier to position the hands versus the girls. I mean, it's nowhere near perfect, like they outlined in the box, but it's still pretty cool. I love these additions of these morphers. Like it really is something cool, and I'm surprised it's not something that they thought of with the previous figures that they released. So we have finally reached the end of this video. And what are my overall thoughts? Honestly, it's a really good figure. And you can tell it is high quality compared to the very first rendition of the Blue Ranger. Because although they look very similar except for the visor details, the helmet has this glisten that really shows off the remaster figure as a really high quality figure. So I really like it. I mean, I know the Billy head does not really resemble Billy too much. With that aside, everything on this figure, I love the detailing. They really went all out. They fixed the helmet. So that's all those pluses working for it. So I like this figure. It's a great figure. Would I recommend it? Yes, of course. If you're a Power Rangers fan, a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan, like yeah, I would say go for it, especially like if you have the other Ranger figures. This is great addition. And honestly, like I was only gonna get like certain Rangers out of the remastered team, but then I was like, you know what? Why not try to get them all? Because they look so beautiful that you can't just stop with one. And I wouldn't say this is the best remastered figure because I do own them all. The best remastered figure would definitely have to go to Pink Pink Ranger or Green Ranger because Green Ranger they finally fixed that helmet. And Pink Ranger, we finally have a figure that's like the same shade of pink throughout the figure, and we got a little bit of a slightly accurate Kimberly. So with that aside, let's get prices and how much this is. So these figures, I'm gonna quote Canada, is like I want to say 39.99, and if you found them at Toys R Us while they were on on sale, they were like 45.99. Like they went for like sorry 49.99, and they were on like a 50% off if you're here in Canada for about 1 month. Problem is finding these figures were next to impossible. I was able to get half the team for the 50% off, but the others unfortunately had to pay the full price. But if you are a Edge Rewards member, you do get like 10% off these figures. The problem with the Blue Rangers, he was the very first figure that was released in the remastered line. So as a consequence, it's really hard to find him. I haven't seen him in GameStop since he was released. I've seen him maybe once or twice in the earlier days. Toys R Us, I would say keep checking because it says sold out. But after checking and checking, one day it said that it was available, so I ended up grabbing him. Like, don't let the sold out tag like deter you, especially with Toys R Us, because randomly things pop up as available on the website. So I would say keep checking, and I would not recommend going to eBay or whatever and bingo scalper prices. Try your best to find the figure locally. Keep checking, pack your patience, but if you think you've exhausted all your options and you can no longer wait, I guess then you can go for it. In the US, I think it's easily available, these figures, because you guys have so many options. There's Big Bad Toy Store, there's Entertainment Earth, sometimes Amazon carries it. You guys have Hasbro Pulse, you guys have GameStop, but you guys have Target. Like, look at that, you guys have so many options. Us Canadians, we're stuck with what? Toys R Us and GameStop, and we're lucky sometimes if Amazon Canada has it, but they jack up the prices to an insane price. I think at one point I saw this figure for like 67 or $80. I'm like, yeah, that's way too much. Anyways, that's my video review. Again, I'm so sorry for making this so late. I had webcam issues and I was so busy, but it's finally happy I can get this figure out of the way. Thank you and have a great day. And always please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help.